Hi guys, welcome. This is my knitting podcast and my name is Mandy. You can find me on the internet as mandyvaughnknits, both on Instagram and Ravelry. This podcast is all about crafting and knitting and crochet, yarn. We talk about patterns. This week I have, I believe, 4 to show you. We talk about massive failures that I've had, which will be coming up later, spoiler alert. We talk about just crafting in general, finished objects, works in progress, and all of that. So if that sounds interesting to you, please stick around. I would love if you hung out. I am a almost 39-year-old woman from southeastern Michigan. I am a paraplegic. I use a wheelchair full-time. That's a long, complicated story, but let's just go with I'm incompletely paralyzed. We'll use those terms. I don't have much movement, but I do have potential. So, incompletely paralyzed. I love knitting. I've been knitting for about 9 years now. I've been crocheting for about 13. And I really appreciate having this podcast. It has helped me so much, especially as somebody who doesn't have the opportunity to get out and go to things like knit nights. It lets me meet crafters from all over the world, and it makes my heart happy to be able to do that. So let's see. The first thing that we're going to talk about this week is admin. And for this podcast, and basically for every episode, we give away a pattern, and how you enter to give away the pattern, I completely messed that up, I'm sorry. How you enter to be able to win the pattern is just leave a comment below. You can mention a pattern that I talked about on the podcast, or you could mention a different pattern. It doesn't matter. You're eligible to win once every month, just because you don't want the same person winning every month. And what else? Oh, okay, the pattern price has to be under $15. So I am going to leave a blank spot right here. And that should have given you the information for who won this week. So if that was you, please contact me on either Ravelry or DM me on Instagram. My username, once again, is mandyvaughnknits, and I will get that pattern sent out to you. Hopefully through Ravelry. I am not sure how to do it otherwise, but we'll figure it out if we have to. So just let me know and reach out. Okay, I have a list here, so if I keep looking down, that's why. This, like I said, this week, in order to be entered, please leave a comment below, and then we'll draw for winners next week again. So, do you remember how I said that I had a fail this week? I wasn't kidding. Okay, let me show you, because it's beautiful and sad all at the same time. So, I have this right here, right? It is great. But it's very big on me. Very, very big on me. So this is oversized, and I like it because the sleeves are tight, but these sleeves are big, and I'm not a big fan of it for that. So I'm trying to think about I guess it would help if I told you what this pattern was, right? This is the Willow Pullover. It is a test knit from Andrea Gaughan, and I am test knitting it, and I chose the wrong size. Now, I have a problem choosing sizes for patterns, and this happens quite a bit. I don't know if, for some reason, I think that I just don't know. I'm always awful at choosing the sizes, and I tend to go up larger than I need to. Part of it is that I don't like the way that fitted garments feel on me, and that's fine. But a lot of the times I'll choose a size that's like incredibly too big for me. Now, that combined with the fact that this yarn is very light and airy, and it didn't, the neckline grew, and I fixed the neckline and it's fine. It's just, it's bigger on me than I'd like. So what did I do? I cast on another one in a smaller size. Of course I did. The test knit goes until August 25th, so I'm not worried about being able to finish it on time, but it's still, let me see if I can find it. I know I have it in one of the bags. So I'm not worried about finishing the test knit on time, because I definitely will. I think it took me a month minus a day. I believe that's what my Ravelry says, to finish this. So like 30 days, which is great. But the thing is, I'll show you what the thing is. So I cast on a second one, and this would be size 4, and this is size 2. So I'm thinking that this will be much better fit-wise. Even if it's not, even if I want the pink more, what's going to happen is I'm going to take that pink out and rework it. Because of course I am. But this is what I have right now. And I love this pattern, and it's so easy. To me, this pattern, by the way, let's talk about sizing, because like I said, it was a test knit, and Andrea Gaughan very clearly stated, you know, make sure to double check your size. I did. I double checked it very much, and I still screwed up. But other than the sleeves that are too big, if the sleeves were more fit, I would totally wear this still, because it reminds me more of like right here. It would remind me of this. Do you see how this? By the way, I'll tell you about what I'm wearing after I'm done talking about the Willow pullover. But I do love this color, and I love this pattern. I will be working on this to get this done and all finished by the test knit, and it will be fine. It will be blue for the test knit, and that's okay. I wanted 2 of them, but for the time being, I'm gonna stick with just the blue one. After the test knit is over, I will pull this, well, I'll probably pull this out. It's gonna be a pain to pull this all out. Oh my gosh. I'm going to ask my husband to help me. He's going to be so sad about it. But this is a lot of yarn to frog, right? Oh well. I think the worst part is that I had someone who, if I had someone who this would fit and they'd like it, I just give it to them rather than pull it out. Because I mean, everything about the sweater is too perfect. It is perfect. It's just, well, hang on. I've got some elastic in, I put some elastic in this neckline, and if I gave it away to somebody else, I might snip the elastic first, just because it kind of cinches it in more than it needs to be. But I mean, other than just being too big on me, it's a great sweater, and I loved making it, and it's super soft. Not to mention, I really don't want to frog all that. I really don't. I love that color though. It's like the best color ever. But I am, let's see, how many repeats am I through? I am through 2 repeats on this. I think I need 6 till I start worrying about the body. Kind of splitting things up for the sleeves is what I'm talking about. That doesn't seem right. I think it's like 6.5 or something, but this is me trying to remember what the pattern says. As you can see, I've got little stitch markers so I don't mess up the basket weave, which is silly, but it is what it is. I will get distracted when I knit and then mess everything up. And there you have it. Okay, so that is the basket weave pullover, and kind of my dilemma with what am I going to pull the sweater out? Do I want to see if maybe my mom wants it? Because I think she'd love it. But I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it will fit her, so it is what it is. That's my dilemma. That was my massive fail. I knew that it was going to be oversized as I was knitting it. I knew it was going to be oversized. I knew it was going to be very, very big on me, but I guess I didn't realize how much ease the sleeves were going to have too. So I'm knitting one that is 2 sizes smaller, and we'll just go from there. So see, next time you're casting on a sweater and thinking about sizes, think about me and remember to double check your sizing and make sure that you understand how much ease a garment is going to have before you knit the whole thing. You know, like you're supposed to. Okay, so as I was starting to say before I wanted to finish the Willow pullover speech, this is this cardigan that I'm wearing is called Always There. This is by Locatelli. It is an oversized kind of a boxy fit cardigan with fitted sleeves, and I love it. It is one of my favorite cardigans, and I wear it like all the time. I am going to wear it later today when we go out because it's perfect and it looks like it's going to rain. This I must have knit during a Locatelli make-along. She hosts one starting in September through November of, well, she has the last 2 years. I believe I knit this, the first one I participated in, which would have been 2 years ago. And I was recently asked by my friend what I was going to knit for this year's Locatelli make-along, and I haven't even started thinking about it, but it's coming up soon, right? So I will have to start looking through her patterns. I know that she has a gorgeous, like very pretty, gorgeous, lacy cardigan, and it's all over lace, I believe, and it has like a tie, and I have the yarn for it, and it's dark red, and I've been wanting to make that. I actually signed up for it last year, but I decided to make a different one. My approach for whenever the make-along happens, because the way that it's set up, you basically use like a sign-up form to sign up for the sweaters or cardigans or whatever patterns that you're going to knit from Joji. You submit them, so that way you get a project number. So I generally tend to sign up for more than I can complete, just because I want options for whenever the time comes. I might not feel like lace or vice versa. Okay, so what else have I been working on this week? Because it's been an interesting week trying to, I redid the collar on the pink Willow pullover, and I like that, but it is big, so I guess we'll move on from that. What else have I been working on? That's it. So the Summer in the Box, and this is such a pretty pattern, and just working on it makes me pretty happy. Let me see if I can find a good picture of it. And by the way, I'm putting pictures and QR codes up here so that you can actually look at the Ravelry pictures, or it'll mention if the QR codes are Ravelry or not. If I can, I try not to direct you to the Ravelry pages just because I know some people have issues with that. But if I can't find the pattern anywhere else, I'll put a warning there just so you don't click on anything that might bother you or harm you. Okay, so this is the summer in the box, and I love this. It's so cute. I actually found a pattern that reminds me a lot of this, and I'm going to be talking about it later, so keep that in mind. But this is the summer in the box, and I have knit just a little bit on the body here, but I love this color. This is Barocco Renew, and it has quite a bit of fiber in it. Let me see if I can find one of the tags. Do you hear the birds outside? Jeez, oh Pete's. Okay, I can't find the Barocco Renew tag, so I'm putting the information down here below so you can see the fiber content. I know that it has cotton, and that's all that I can remember. But the top of this was so easy and very fun. You start off right here. This strip, you build up from that strip. So you knit that strip, and then you start the front and the back sides. Or you build up from the strip, and then you start the short rows right here on the back, and then you do the fronts. But yeah, it does have short rows on the back, and I think that this is just a pretty and simple looking top that's just very, I don't even know how to explain it. I love how the lace up here is gorgeous, and it's just plain stockinette down below. It's dressy. You can dress it up. You can wear it to the beach if you want. It doesn't have to be a dressy top, and it could be at the same time. So I do like working with this yarn. I can feel the cotton in it, which might bother some people. To me, whenever I do rub my hands along it, it kind of reminds me of like a terry cloth. The feeling of it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's kind of the feel. So if that would bother you, just keep that in mind. But I'm hoping that I get this done in the next couple of weeks. Maybe I can take it with us when we go on a small mini vacation with our in-laws, with my in-laws. So the kids are so excited about that. More on that later. But I've been working on this for about 2 weeks, I think. And I got the majority of it done during the 4th of July weekend, because I had a very long weekend, and that came in handy with all of like the crafting stuff I had wanted to do and finish up. So the next thing that I have been working on is the Hipster tee, and this is by Locatelli. And I have been having a lot of fun with this. And I've been changing up the stripe pattern from how it is on the pattern pictures. And by changing up, I'm not changing the widths of the stripes. I'm just kind of changing the colors a little bit. So this is the Hipster top. And black and white pictures aren't doing any justice. So obviously you guys have seen the pictures of the Hipster tee and the QR code for it. So this is what we have. And of course it's on a really short needle, so it's going to be hard to show. I apologize. So this is what I've been doing. This yarn is fiber optic yarn, and it is the cashmere base. So it's an MCM base, merino cashmere nylon. And I have been loving knitting this. So what I did was I wanted this dark purple and light purple up here, and then right when you get to the V-neck, it's going to be these two colors. And this, I believe, is ultraviolet and electric purple, which look very similar, which is the point. I didn't want very subtle stripes for the body, or I didn't want very noticeable stripes for the body. I just kind of wanted the subtlety right there. So I don't know if you can see, but it's a little better in person, but not much. Like I said, it's on purpose. I was going to do the whole hipster tee that way, or hipster top that way, but whenever I had the whoopsie where I misplaced the one purple and ordered the violet color, I realized that I thought it would look kind of nice if I had just the top part in the stripes, and then the bottom part was kind of like blendy stripes. So other than that, the knitting on this has been great. I am thinking that I am going to knit all the way down, and then when you get to the ribbing, I am going to try to do these stripes again instead of the ribbing and see what happens. The what are they called? These cross stitches. I don't remember what they're called, but I want to see if I can get away with using them for ribbing instead of ribbing, and I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know if they'll lay flat. That's one of my big concerns. They are surrounded by garter stitch, so I could probably surround them by more garter stitch, and that should make them lay flatter. But I also want to do the stitches in this color again. So we'll have like the lighter violet down below as well. But I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm very happy because my main goal this week was to get this joined to where I wasn't knitting back and forth, because I'm not one of those people that hate purling, but when you're knitting back and forth on this, you have to remember to do certain things for certain colors, and like some row starts you're slipping, and then some row starts you're making another stitch, and I just figured once I got everything joined, it would make it a lot easier. And I was right. Now it's just basic knitting with swapping the colors, which is no big deal. So I'm happy that there's much less stuff going on here now. But I'm trying to come up with a plan of attack, right? Because I have 3 sweaters on the needles, plus one that still needs sleeves. And I really want to make progress to where I can say, hey, I knocked a sweater out. So I don't have to keep having 3 on the needles. And I actually want to get all 3 of these done. And I'm going to talk about it why in a second. But let's think of a plan of action here. So I have the basket weave pullover. I have the summer in a box. And I have the hipster tee. I'm ignoring the one that needs sleeves because that's a worsted weight pattern, and when I have 2 summer weight patterns and one like a fallish sweater, I'm trying to get those done first because of the seasonal concerns. So I am thinking the basket weave pullover needs to be done first, but it's going to take the longest. I am going to be concentrating most on that, and second on the summer in a box. And it's not that I don't want to work on the hipster tee, It's that the Summer in a Box is just round and around and around, and the Hipster tee involves color changing. So, plus the Summer in a Box is in DK weight yarn, so it will go faster. Hipster is done in fingering. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes, but my main focus is going to be on the basket weave pullover so that I can get it done. If worse come, like I said, that's my main focus. So I don't know if you remember, new viewers you won't, but old viewers you might. A couple of weeks ago, I cast on for the Voyage cardigan. And the Voyage cardigan has been one of my main, year goals that I wanted to do. And I cast it on, and I had a pink advent that had a bunch of light pink colored yarn. And this was going to be my ribbing color, and it's beautiful. This is Antique by Blackbird Sycamore Yarn in the base Super Sock. And this is just a color representation of the advent. So I just grabbed a couple to show you. And this is like the color theme that the advent is. We've got these light pinks. Now, they don't contrast with each other, and they don't contrast with this. So doing color work with just these two it basically made me take the whole project and put it in the closet in timeout. So I got in contact with Stephanie from Blackbird Sycamore Yarn. She is amazing, and you're seeing the QR code to visit her shop. I love her yarn. I've used it so many times. So I contacted her and I asked her I was asking her about one of her yarns. I can't remember the name, but I asked if it was more red or more pink because I was looking for like a magenta, dark pink magenta color. And she said that it was more red, but she offered to basically custom dye the color that I was looking for. So I purchased 3 skeins from her, and she sent me this. Look, it's perfect. And look at this. Look at how good they go together. And wait, look. I can't wait. So so when I make the Voyage, and I have to finish the stuff that I have first, especially the basket weave pullover. But whenever I'm done with, at the very least, the basket weave pullover, I am going to be casting this on. And this will continue to be the ribbing and the button band. This will be the body of the color work sweater. Sometimes it will be the background color, sometimes it will be the foreground color, but this will be the main color that's carried through. And then this will be the opposite color of the dark pink, magenta color. So I was very excited about this. This is on her Super Sock base, and she actually put the color name as Mandy's Magenta. My kiddo, my daughter saw that, and she was so excited about it. I thought it was cute. But that's the information. It is a sock yarn, so it's superwash merino and recycled nylon. And I love the color. It's so pretty. I can't wait to start that. Okay, so I wanted to mention that because even though I'm not casting it on in probably the next month, I wanted to show you the color because it came this week and I was really excited about it. It came fast too. I asked her, I think on Saturday, and she had it shipped out early the next week. So I was amazed at how fast she got that out. I've been purchasing yarn from her for a long time, and I've never purchased a single skein of yarn that I haven't loved from there. And you know what? It's funny too, because do you see this right here? It came wound up, and my husband saw that, and Stephanie winds my yarn for me. She asked me once, and I said yes, please, because when you're paralyzed, it's hard to like go into, we keep all of our yarn winding stuff way back in the closet, and trying to get that with a wheelchair is just a pain in the butt. So whenever my husband saw this was wound up, he's like, yes, because that means he doesn't have to pull out like the yarn winder and everything. But it was great. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for sending that beautiful yarn. Okay, so that would be all of like the knitting stuff that I've been working on lately and all of the crafting. But I still have some patterns to show you, and I've actually been, I've come up with 4, and I saw this one. This is called the Arpeggio top, and this is just a really cute, simple top, and it looks like you can even do it as a tank top with no sleeves. Now, the reason that I picked this pattern to show you is that I am a huge fan of just plain like t-shirts like this, and as soon as I saw that picture, I was thinking this would be gorgeous in like a silk yarn, or do you know what I mean? Like a yarn that has a high silk content. Now, it's knit in DK weight, so the yardage on it is not that much. It's between 500 and 900 yards, and at a DK weight, I'm trying to think of what DK weight. See, I'm not very familiar with DK weight yarn bases because I'm not a big DK weight yarn knitter. I tend to stick with fingering, but okay, so the sizes are between 1 and 9. That doesn't help. Where is the, so they don't have the, okay, so the sizes are between 1 and 9. I don't see the inches or centimeters that it stretches through, but I'm assuming that since there are 9 patterns, there's like a good size range. It says, crafted with seamless top-down knitting, the Arpeggio top guarantees a smooth and creatable creation process. It includes 2 sleeve variations, so you can do the tank top or satin sleeves. It says that it features short row shaped caps. So if you're looking for a tank top, this actually sounds really like a really good one. And it's knit in the round, and it says it's seamless. So I do think that those sleeves are really cute. I saw this, and it is $8 USD. The designer, it says Zanete knits. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I have never heard of them, but this is a very pretty pattern. Like I said, whenever I saw it, it grabbed my interest right away. Now, this is the one that, you guys remember the Summer in a Box? I just showed it to you. But this is the one that I said reminded me of Summer in a Box. This is called Blissful Tea, and this is a free pattern by Universal Yarn. So the QR code that I showed you, or I'm showing you, is going to send you to the Universal Yarn website where the free pattern is. But look at how cute this is. It's got the lace up top and on the sleeves, and it's just a simple summer sweater, summer top. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Do you still call shirts like this like sweaters, or do you just call them tops? what makes a sweater a sweater? Is it like the long arms, or is it like the weight of the yarn? Because if it's the weight of the yarn, none of my stuff is a sweater because they're all fingering weight. So I don't think it's that. It just sounds weird to me to say that something like this is a sweater when it's got short sleeves. It seems more to me like a casual top. So this is knit in sport weight yarn. It needs 985 to 1576 yards. The sizes are small to 3X, so that's pretty good. It says it's intended to be worn with approximately 4 to 6 inches of positive knees. The tee is knit in pieces from the bottom up. After seaming, stitches are picked up along the armholes and neckline to create a neat ribbed edge. Oh, interesting. It's knit in pieces? Oh, that would be interesting. I can't remember the last sweater I knit in pieces. I think I knit, do you guys hear the birds again? I'm not silly. I hope it's picking up on the camera because I've been hearing birds all morning. So they sound so like sweet and happy. Anyways, I'm completely off topic here. This is knit in pieces. It's worked flat. It's short sleeve, and wow. So for everybody that likes knitting sweaters in pieces, this one is for you. I think the last sweater that I knit in pieces were some matching sweaters that I made my kiddos for a Christmas one year. It was a pattern from a kit that I got on Craftsy, and the sweaters came out okay. You know what? Whenever I was knitting sweaters in pieces, it was a lot easier to knit them for my kids. That's what I'm trying to say. Because my kids are small, right? 9 and 13, small enough, smaller than me. So whenever I'm working on a sweater that a kid is going to wear, I don't mind knitting in pieces because there's less of a chance I'm going to screw up. Looking at my poor Willow pullover mournfully because that was not knit in pieces. It was knit around. But see, so it happens no matter what, sizing issues. So I wanted to show you a crochet pattern because I have not been mentioning crochet very much lately. And I saw this one. I'm trying to think of where I saw it. I believe I was just browsing the internet and I ended up seeing a Lion Brand post, or maybe it was an email for a kit that they had, and it was for this top. And this is called the Electric Sun Tee. And this is so pretty. These pictures are terrible. They're black and white. So you're seeing very pretty pictures of this. This is by Rachel Misner. It's published on the Evelyn and Peter Crochet website. So it says that you can purchase it for $4.50 USD, or it's available for free on the pattern website. A free version, so the ads and everything. But I love this because of the colors. The colors that this sample is knit in are just completely speaking to me. Plus, I love looking at crochet. I love whenever I see a crochet garment that I really like because it's very, I remember when I first started crocheting, people were always down about crochet garments and, you know, knitting garments are so much prettier than crochet, and crochet is all big and bulky. So whenever I see a pattern that kind of goes against that logic, I love it. And nowadays there are so many beautiful crochet garments. It's incredible. So like in the last 13 years, the crochet garment growth has just been incredible. I love it. This says that it's bottom up, and I mean, that's pretty much all that you need to know for this pattern. It also comes as a Lion Brand kit, which is how I heard about it. But it's knit in Lion Brand, or it's crocheted, the sample, in Lion Brand cotton 24/7. And I love this. This seems like the perfect beach tee, right? So these pictures definitely, the black and white definitely don't do it justice, but the fact that it's on the beach definitely does. So that one is, I don't know. I might actually, so it's adult extra small to 5X. But I think that if I could make that for my daughter, she would love it. So, okay, here's another, here's a knitting pattern. I don't know how long, it says it was published in June of 2023. This is by Woolen Pine, and I've never seen this one before. Woolen Pine started posting a bunch of their patterns on their Instagram, and I saw this one caught my eye. This is called Dunedrifter. And let me know down below if you guys have ever heard of this one, because I haven't, and it seems like I've been missing out. This is knit in the round and one piece, and it's sideways. Let me make sure before I start. But when you look at the pattern, it is sideways, like what you're expecting it. It's knit sideways. Gosh, it's 10 in the morning and I still can't talk. But I love how that is knit sideways. I was thinking about all the different types of yarn that you could use, because this is knit and fingering, and I'm getting tongue-tied today. It's knit in side-to-side construction. So if you've ever done the Ravelry cardigan, it kind of reminds me of that. And the fact that like the texture on the knitting goes this way instead of up or down makes me happy, especially the lace down at the bottom. It says it features a unique side-to-side construction starting with the right sleeve, knit in the round. The pattern then switches to a flat knit, adding extra stitches for the back, seamlessly incorporating a stunning and crisp lace motif. This approach continues onto the front, combining stockinette and lace for a beautifully shaped neckline. The front and back are then joined using a 3-needle bind-off, followed by the completion of the left sleeve in the round. Ooh, this unique construction method lets you craft a beautiful lace pattern that stretches across the bottom of the top, adding a fun and eye-catching detail to your summer knit. So I've never knit anything with that construction before, and it sounds like it would be fun. I love whenever I come across a unique construction, because it kind of starts, I kind of geek out about it, right? Because to me, it's really interesting. Even if like you mess up 10 times trying to knit it, it's very fun to kind of learn something new and make mistakes from it and things like that. This is an old pattern, an older pattern. Well, yeah, this is an older pattern. This was actually in Knitty. And I found this because I was looking through my queue on Ravelry, because I put stuff in my queue that, well, I used to put stuff in my queue that I eventually wanted to knit. This one is called Velvet Morning, and it is by knittedblissJC. This was published in Knitty Winter 2011. So this is a free pattern, and this is color work. the thing that gets me about this sweater, besides the color that is used for this top sample, which is a gorgeous blue. Like, you've seen the pictures, it's such a pretty blue. But I love the way that this cardigan is shaped. It's just flowy. I love it. It says, it began as a quest for the ideal slouchy cardigan. It had to be the kind of cardigan that is effortless to wear and super comfortable. I'm already sold, right? And then it has this color work at the bottom, which is super pretty. Now, let me see if I can show you. Up here, that is the neck, and that's pretty. And then you have down below, you can kind of see the color work a little bit better on the black and white, obviously, with the lighter colored cardigan. But this is a free pattern, and it says it has 281 projects on Ravelry and is in 1,744 queues. And I believe it. The overall rating is 4.0 from 79 votes. It says it's worked in one piece from the bottom up. Sleeves are knitted flat and seamed. The collar neck edging is worked separately and sewed on. So thinking in my mind, I would probably, if I knit this, change that up a little. So instead of knitting the sleeves flat, I would almost definitely put them, work them in the round. Even if we had short row shapings, I would kind of transfer that. Let's see. And then the collar neck edging is worked separately and sewed on. I don't know. I don't know about that. I do like how you can see in the collar that it's definitely sewed on. So I would have to think about doing that. But this is such a pretty pattern, and I don't think it came out in 2011. The only kind of tough thing is that it's Aran weight yarn. So, I mean, that's going to make for a very heavy sweater. But it will be a great, comfy, cozy one. Okay, so I said I was going to talk about 4 patterns at the very beginning. I talked about 5. That's just because I can't count, so I apologize. I think that's all of like the knitting content that I have. So if you're leaving me now, thank you so much for stopping by. If you could, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a comment down below in order to be entered in next week's pattern giveaway. And thank you so much for stopping by. As for everybody else, this is 3-minute update. So my in-laws are coming in the middle of August. So that's another reason I'm going to need, I think for like the whole next week, I'm probably going to mainly focus on that basket weave pullover. So if you don't see any other kind of progress on anything else, that's why. I know with the test knit, I want to get it done. And I know I can as long as I just keep my focus on that. So my in-laws are coming in, the middle of August. Good grief. So we're excited about that. We're going to take the kids back to kind of the indoor-outdoor water park that we took them to, except it's a different one. So it's not as far away as the one we went to. It's like half as far away. I'm hoping that we get to visit a yarn store. So I'll have to scout that out. And since my in-laws will be there, they can watch the kids as my husband comes with me to the yarn store. I mean, which I don't know has ever happened. I don't think I've ever gone to a yarn store without my kiddos. I really don't. So even more exciting, right? I might have went to like Joann's before, but like an LYS, I don't think I have. So that's exciting. I have been reading You Like It Darker by Stephen King. I finished that. It was a great book of short stories. It had, one of the short stories was kind of part two, not part two, I don't want to say part two. One of the characters from Cujo was in one of the short stories for You Like It Darker, the one called Rattlesnakes. So that was interesting because I read Cujo. What else did I read? I read a book called Hidden Pictures, and I can't remember who wrote it, so I'm putting it right here. It was a great book. I loved that book from the minute it started till the ending. It is about a college-aged girl who is in rehab. She's been in rehab for 18 months. She starts to be a nanny to a 5-year-old boy. And the 5-year-old boy starts drawing these creepy pictures. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to ruin it. But if you like thrillers, I would definitely check it out because I was super impressed with that one. Like, that makes me want to check out more from the author. I started reading Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and Owen King. That is because at the end of You Like It Darker, Stephen King mentioned that Sleeping Beauties was one of his favorite novels. So I immediately went to Libby and checked it out. I've only read like 5 minutes of it, so I have no opinion on it. Another book in my queue is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And I've heard so many good things about that book, but it's kind of after Sleeping Beauties and everything else. So I haven't even looked at it yet, but I do have it checked out because it finally came up on Libby as ready to check out. So hopefully I'll be able to get to it soon. Other than that, work has been crazy. There's been oodles of meetings and I've been learning a bunch of new stuff and I'm super excited about that. I've kind of curtailed my Udemy studying on the next AWS certificate because I've been working on learning a new framework for work and that's kind of been taking a higher priority. But I intend to get back to it just as soon as kind of this new project calms down. Other than that, I think that's it. It's been a beautiful week and I'm hoping that you guys have had an awesome week. I hope that you have an awesome upcoming week and I wish you guys all the best. If you could, please give this video a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button and I will talk to you guys next week. I hope you have a great week. Thank you. Bye.